Jesus can be such a party pooper. Here they are marveling together at the grandeur of the temple with its gigantic stone walls and huge spaces. An architectural wonder, the symbol of spiritual glory and pride and worthiness, giving strength to face the Roman colonization, holding religious memory in every corner. This shrine of sacredness, this place of God's dwelling among the people, this symbol of faith. But Jesus just doesn't get it. He doesn't understand the majesty of this monument. And not only is he incapable of understanding this meaningful building, no, of course he also has to kill the mood by announcing that it all will fall apart. Not one stone will be left here upon another, all will be thrown down. The high spirits change abruptly. Laughter freeze, jokes stop, shoulders drop. On their way back to the Mount of Olives, no one really talks. You can only hear the mumble of someone declaring never to go sightseeing with Jesus again. Here we are again. Thanks, Jesus, for reminding us of the end. We don't like to be reminded of the end. Maybe that's why we end movies with happy endings. But that's a definite lie, an illusion. Because when the lovers finally found each other and start their lives together, that's when it gets complicated, right? And our human end, our death, is not a happy end either. Most of us fear death, or at least the process of dying. And those being left behind are hurting and grieving and have to adjust to a life without a beloved person. We fear endings. And we want to know as many details and information as possible about our end, or the end of the world as we know it. This is why Peter, James, John, and Andrew asked Jesus. If Jesus is talking about everything falling apart and ending, he must have an inkling of when this will take place. And how do we know it's happening? What are the signs? But today, Jesus doesn't seem capable of answering any question. Instead, he warns them, don't be led astray. Wait, what? Many will come in my name and say, I am he, and they will lead many astray. When you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be alarmed. This must take place, but the end is still to come. For nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places. There will be famines. So that's the end. Wars, earthquakes, famines, people who stoke fears, end time and hate preachers, quacksalvers selling expensive but useless charms to desperate people, smoke and fire, the apocalypse. Wow, the disciples might think. That's what is expecting us. Wow, you might think here. She's trying to make us believe that this is how it's gonna be. No, she's not. And neither is Jesus. Jesus is just telling them how it is. There is war and oppression, kingdom fighting against kingdom, nation rising against nation. There are earthquakes and famines. That is true for the year 30 and as it is for the year 70, when the Gospel of Mark was written and the majestic temple was destroyed. And it is true for the year 2021. There is war and conflict within nations and between nations, in Syria, China, and Taiwan, Venezuela. There are earthquakes in Haiti, in Indonesia. There are famines in Ethiopia, Yemen, Madagascar, South Sudan. There is smoke and fire in Brazil as the rainforest burns, in California, in Australia. There is a virus making sick and killing and changing our world as we know it. And there are people all over the planet who are spreading fear, resentment, and hate, paralyzing their audience, leading them astray with conspiracy theories, into a world of even more illusions and lies. If that doesn't sound like the perfect Hollywood apocalypse, right here, today. We might not be affected by everything directly, but it is the reality for someone somewhere. But speaking of apocalypse, we don't use the word apocalypse correctly. We refer to any larger scale catastrophic event as an apocalypse. But what we actually mean is a catastrophe, a disaster, a crisis. But by using it in this sense, we miss the crucial point. Apocalypse means revelation, unveiling, uncovering. We are disillusioned in the very best meaning of the word. We are without the illusion. Isn't that what we want to be? But now it's me who spoiled your day, right? Sorry. This world sees so much suffering every day that it's hard to bear. We are so helpless and we feel so insignificant in the face of everything that is going on. And so it's totally understandable that we focus on things that make us feel secure, on our homes, our home security. Big walls around neighborhoods and nations, restrictive laws against people who are different. And we marvel at the biggest, at the newest, at the shiniest. But aren't we just surrounding us with mere distractions? I ask myself, what lies and illusions do I mistake for truth? What do I cling to permanence? Why do I cling to permanence when Jesus asks me to evolve, to change? Am I willing to accept that things fall apart? Or do I have to conserve everything and everyone? Can I accept that having faith is not a guarantee for success, winning, and happiness? Don't be led astray, is what Jesus says. Don't get distracted. Focus. Don't try to seal God in a building. God dwells with the people and not in a building. And that is good news. We cannot lose God. Don't give in to terror, but respond with love. Only with love we can bear being disillusioned and seeing the world as it is, every day anew in its suffering. There is work to do, but not at the end. Our work is now. And don't despair, because what seems to be the end is just the beginning. We experience birth pangs, and all those who have experienced them know that they are awfully painful, even traumatic. But the result is not death, it's life. Amen.